our customer base, and what do you guys see that we get out of this?
Go.
Go ahead.
Yes, you don't. Yes, hit it.
We're also it gives us an opportunity to see the detailers, also see our competitors and everything else. And I shouldn't use the word competitors because I don't consider anybody a competitor.
That's right.
We're all friends. We're all here with the same industry. We all have the same goals.
Yep.
And you know what? People need different products for different things.
Yep.
They might need 3 of my products, 4 of his, 1 of his.
That's right. That's right.
Chris is a great example. He's a 1 SKU man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look what he's built with 1 SKU.
All right.
How easy is that, right?
Yeah.
2 sizes.
That's it.
Actually, we're 2 now. We got the gray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got a black and gray.
Yeah, but and that's something, you look around and you see a lot of booths with a lot of different stuff. And here Chris is, I mean, he, is such an icon in our industry, and it did come from one product, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like it's one of those things where you can be okay at a bunch of stuff or be great at one, and he got the great at one part and knocked out of the park for sure.
And he's a celebrity.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
that
right.
persona.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, and I don't see it that way at all. I pop in for a visit and see my friends, and all the different corporations and how they conduct themselves in business, personally, in the social media platforms, and it's nice to see.
Yeah.
I come out of a industry that was really cutthroat. People think, the drama or the things that happen in our industry now, but construction, development, real estate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is brutal.
It's cutthroat. Yeah.
These guys have issues and they're suing each other and they're sending. I mean, it's right. So
big
this
money
is really,
game too. Yeah. Big money game.
So
Yeah.
this is, to me, it's really a community of friends and family and companies that I feel really connected to.
Absolutely.
It's so nice. And before we get started, I want to thank Big D and Dave and everything for setting this up. It's really pretty special. A lot of work, man.
It is. I mean, these things don't just fall together.
No.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of marketing to get people here. There's a lot of work to get us suppliers here, make sure that everybody's happy. You've got to feed a lot of ego, and they've done a great job. I mean, the classes that we were at this morning were packed. So I feel like it's great attendance. And you mentioned the guys that are here and these companies that are here and how they're able to get along. And I think this is something that we're starting to see in the industry as kind of making a change, because there was some time where there just seemed like there was turmoil. Yeah. And now everybody's like, hey, you know what, guys, we're going to see each other 3 or 4 times a year at these events. We're interacting with the same customers all the time. We might as well get along. We might as well just come, we work better together than we do apart anyway.
And we're out of high school.
Right, exactly.
Well, I think
exactly.
the egos and the friction that came, it wasn't between companies. It was between detailers.
Yeah, it's right. It was the customers pitting you against each other. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then it reflected upon us.
It did.
But it's not us.
No, I agree with that. And
You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%.
so we see that, and we saw that in the software side, and we still see it. It's so funny because, I'm friends with all of them. Okay, and then we'll have somebody calling or say, I'm coming from such and such, and, they're just not doing it. Say, wait, look, let's get this off the table. These are buddies of mine, and they have a great software. It may not be right for your company, and maybe ours is, but listen, we're not going to sit here and dog each other, because that's not who we are.
But let's also remember, detailers are like they going through the revolving door.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll be with me today, they'll be with him tomorrow.
That's right. No, they're not running over.
And then they're coming back to me, and then I'm saying, no, it's too late, I don't really. And he's saying, oh, it's too late, and then the guy's out there.
Yep.
Well, you know what? If you would have acted properly and would have dealt with whoever, it would have been fine.
That's it. So
we all have to be mature.
So Carlos, y'all have kind of come on the scene pretty strong here. How do you feel like participating in these events has helped your company? I know you were down at MTE as well. Yeah, these things, I mean, they're good for you. You're able to network. You're able to get out in front of your customer base.
Yeah, for us was great. This is a great show. We started with this company last year.
Yeah.
We are a company. I bring from Puerto Rico, bring products directly from Germany.
Yeah.
And I got a deal with Arab guys, some people from Dubai. We started here small, now we are here, and for me, it's very, very, very good things. I've been here, been with all these detailers, with this masterpiece in the industry.
Yep.
Working and learning from them and start building the same thing that Joel do from 6-8 years ago.
Yeah.
He take a company that it was small company and he give it to the another level. We are working on that. For me, it's very, very good to be here. I'm gonna be working on at least 3 of this show, and we're gonna be a team once again, MTE and here. So we're gonna be working to give everything that we got to all the retailers or the clients and all our industrial company.
So one thing I think I noticed amongst all of us is the customer service aspect of it, and that's what makes you guys great, and that's why you've been able to build the company that you built. And of course, Joel and Mr. West here. Customer service is everything, and to get out here and be able to relate to them and then talk to you and deal with you one-on-one versus being kind of out and about, it sure helps build that comfort level where the customer understands that, hey, I can come up and talk to the owner, I can be a part of this thing, and they relate to that. And I think that's the common thread here at this table is customer services first.
It always has been in any industry, but like with me, the way it works is I have a lot of distributors.
Yes, sir.
But when somebody buys my product, they don't call the distributor with questions.
No,
they call
you.
And
Yeah.
I get 20, 25 texts, emails every day.
Wow.
And Messenger, and I try to touch everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important. If they got a problem, I hear too many guys talking about their product, and they jump right into it's user error.
Oh yeah.
You
Yes.
know?
Absolutely.
I don't care what you did. Let's walk through
Let's
it.
figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
And I probably send out 30, 40 bottles every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Say, let me give you a fresh bottle.
Try. Absolutely.
Let's start from scratch. And I think if you're not really thinking about customer service and branding to make them believe that you care, and I do care about their results.
Well said.
Well, in that bottle, you said you sent out 30 or 40 bottles. That bottle right there is worth everything to that customer. The fact that you say, I don't know if it's mine or not, but listen, first of all, we can eliminate that from it by sending you this bottle. It's minimal cost to you. In the grand scheme of things, it's minimal cost, but it's everything to that customer. And that's exactly how we do things is, listen, we're going to eliminate the possibility of it being something on our end first, and then we'll go from there,
Exactly. With Chris, I find it's funny because he's got one product.
Right.
And the bottle lasts so damn long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you make money?
It does.
And I love them.
It does until you run over it. Until you leave it behind the tire and run over it, and then you got to order another. Look.
That's why I put in the little orifice reducer
Yes.
at the top.
Yes.
Not because it controls it to put it on the applicator.
It's a spill.
Because guys knock it over
They
and
do.
goes gunk, 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 gunk,
Yep.
like the guy's driveway.
Yep.
And it's on their travertine friggin' driveway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
And that happens because I've been there.
Yeah. They put it down and they move and then they kick it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you guys did this in the in the bottles recently, right? The Kenzo kit.
Now it's funny because a lot of companies they carry a lot of different products. We only carry IGL.
Right.
Except we carry
Solution Finish. Yeah.
Which is the only product that we've ever decided to carry outside of anything because we support Chris.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. It's just very, very cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's not going to get a booth at SEMA.
Right.
One SKU.
No.
So Chris is always invited into our booth every year.
Sure, of course.
SEMA.
Well, you carry his product, and it makes
it's
sense.
great. You know what? People love to come to see Chris.
Yeah.
So he brings people to the booth.
Right? Yeah.
So I win. I'm not doing it just
No, yeah, right, yeah. We knew there was. Listen, Joel, we knew Joel was getting something out of it. Trust me. None of us thought that you weren't going to get something out of it. So you mentioned Carlos, you're going to go to SEMA. You guys are going to set up a booth there this year?
Yeah.
Nice.
We already got our space over there.
Great. I think it's going to be a great show. I think everybody's looking forward to the post-COVID, post. All the rules and actually getting back into some normalcy. You see it here. I mean, listen, this is it's a great turnout. People are starting to pour in here and excited to get back to our new normal for sure.
I think so.
Yeah. So. So look, let's talk about the IGO party last night, right? Man, it was a great time. I had an 8 o'clock class, and so I was there on time, but a lot of my people there were a little sluggish, and I did a poll. I said, how many of you guys were at the IGO party, and like half of them raised their hand, and I'm like, okay, that's the problem right there. Yeah. So y'all are gonna fail the test after this class, basically. Yeah.
We figured it was about 300 people.
Oh, it was packed.
Yeah.
It was packed, man. It was such an awesome event.
The buses were loaded and they were coming. We didn't have a small bus.
It really was. Food was great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man, it was excellent. The buses that you provided getting back and forth. I mean, that's everything. Little details like that go a long way, and it's here it is. These guys come in, they're traveling, and they want to just have a good time, not have to worry about driving. They want to be able to come here and have a few beers and not have to worry about getting back. So to provide their transportation for them and get them over there and open that up for somebody that may or may not have made it otherwise, I think it's really cool.
And it's nice to see all companies there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody rubbing elbows. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
I had some guys ask me, can I come? Why can't you come? Well, we sell a coating.
Right? Yeah.
That's why you see that we are in the industry and we have to be together. And all the things depend on the client, not on us.
That's it.
You're gonna see on that party. There's a lot of companies. We've been there. Everyone in here been there.
It's mutual respect and everybody having a great time, and that sends a good message out to the customer base and says, hey, look, they're not going to come over here and lie about this or lie about that because these guys are friends. These guys they're cordial. They know each other, and so I think you eliminate all of that issue.
Hey, I was invited to Dubai by the guys from Onyx.
Yeah.
Come.
Really?
Well, because I have friends in Dubai.
Yeah.
Said, come, and when you come, we'll go for dinner.
Maybe that should be our trip.
Maybe.
Let's go. Right?
I would love to go to Dubai as soon as I work out my issue with the Homeland Security.
Yeah, you're done.
No.
You can't even come see me in Canada.
Why? What's going on?
Oh, that's a
It's a
pass.
long story.
Oh, okay. Wow. That sounds like a good one. We'll have to catch that one.
What was your number? 12234?
No, actually, it is a problem.
I know.
But
Wow, that's funny. Well, I'll have to hear that story for sure. Well, listen, having shows like this are imperative to business and building these things. What do you guys see coming up in the near future? In our industry, anything new on the decks? I mean, are you guys working on anything, or is it just kind of just being great at what we already have?
well, I hear things, different guys talking about what they're working on, but it's always evolving. Like with me, Solution Finish is on its 3rd generation of formalization.
Really?
I'm trying to, and I don't say new and improved, and I just try to make it better.
Just better, yeah.
And the new one, I got a product additive coming from Switzerland that I have real high hopes for, because there's other guys coming up behind me.
Sure.
And I got to try to, you can't just go,
No.
yeah, I'm so cool, I got the best product. You got to stay ahead of the
No,
curve,
that's right. What they say, you flatten out, you're inevitably going to get beat.
Especially when you have one product. You better be good coming at you.
Well, it's software is very similar. So you're either improving or you're going behind, because as you're developing, everybody else is kind of doing the same thing. They see this feature, oh, that's great, and then their customer base wants it, so they have to build. So you always constantly are improving.
Yeah, you better be.
Yeah. What about IGL? What you got in the tank over there?
Well, we're working obviously on industrial commercial stuff, which is outside the realm of the detail. But for the detailing, we have Armor that we'll be releasing soon.
Nice.
Which is it'll compete against Onyx or
wow.
Rhino.
Yeah.
So a bed liner
Fantastic.
type of product. Yeah, so that's cool. We have
Wow.
Yeah, we have a few other
some things in it. Yeah. We don't want to give away all the secrets. I'm just curious if there's some stuff coming up that everybody can look forward to.
Yeah.
Carlos, what about you guys?
We are working on get everything from detailing.
Yeah.
We are focused on detailing, get the whole line, not just stay on coatings.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get detail from A to Z, and
There you go.
then we're gonna start working on see if we can get some paint types of film, window film, and all that thing.
Sure.
We have to work when we got drying out and make the detailing system complete. When we
Right.
finish that thing, we are doing with I got like 4 new products that we're gonna launch today.
Oh, fantastic!
So we are working out on the detailing system.
Yes,
that's what we are focused. We are focused on that. We are doing some R&D from marine polishing that Nathan is there doing with the boat. So he gonna let us how this finish. We are doing just detailing.
Sure.
We focus on automotive, and then we're gonna work for the boats and all that thing.
The marine side of things. Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. And as far as the software goes, there's always a new feature, or always something that we're wanting to work on, and just we're the same way as you guys, always improving, trying to taking the feedback that we hear from customers and tweaking along the way, making sure that we got the product that everybody wants and makes their job easier. One thing I always say, it's easy to crank out 100 features within software, but in reality, like my job, and this is the way that I make decisions, is if my software doesn't make your job easier, then you're not going to use it, or then I'm doing you a disservice. And so there's a lot of thought that goes into it. So when you talk about rolling out new features and things like that, you have to really consider what the impact it has on the end user. So
like I have a pro product that I've worked on for the last 2.5 years, and I'm really reluctant to kick it off because it's going to be professional detailers only.
Sure.
Because it's more technical than put it on a microfiber applicator, wipe it off, buff off the excess, and call it good. You have to be careful, but it's a good 2-year product. So I'm kind of watching the coding guys, how they keep the detailers in their program.
Yeah.
That's not to the general public.
Yep.
And I don't say too much about it because I get a million calls. When is it coming?
I'm sure.
When's it coming?
I'm sure.
Yeah. So it's, and then I look at it and say, well, I don't want to have something that lasts so long that nobody else is going to use.
Right.
A bottle already lasts a detailer a year anyway. But so we're looking forward to working on that, and with that new additive coming from Switzerland, that's probably going to be integrated into the Pro product.
Man, that'd be awesome.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
But it's different, So.
I'll be one of those guys calling him. So, man, when is that coming out? When is that coming out?
I know. So.
It's interesting. That's kind of the way when ceramic coatings first came out, we started installing. It was like we were putting on a product that we were claiming to last 5 or 7 or 8 years or 10 years, whatever that claim was 8 or 10 years ago. And the thought was, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this one time $1,000 at that time or whatever, and I don't see this customer again. It was totally wrong, though. It was a misconception. Now it's understanding is we're going to apply this product, but then we want to see it back in for maintenance. Our goal is to continuously do this. We're not slapping this coating on and see in 8 years or when you trade or buy a new one. We're going to be here with you all along the way, and it took some time for detailers to understand how to sell that, and I think that came from a lot of early on marketing that was done incorrectly by some of the larger or some of the other ceramic coating companies back at that time. That really set us up for failure to begin with. But all that stuff's starting to dissipate. Detailers are learning, Go ahead.
That was probably the hardest job we had, before you guys and everybody came about. Hardest job we had was to get people to understand the truth.
Yes.
So when we came into it, Jeff and I are not detailers.
Overhyping.
Yes, it was big time overhyping.
And the problem was the companies that were there were saying, oh, you can do this, you can, and it's not true.
Right.
And there is no 7-year coating.
Yes, right.
There is no 10-year coating. There is no life. It's
that's
bullshit.
Right. That's right.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Listen, we started the company, IGL, in 2008. The first product sold 2014. The first 6 years were R&D.
R&D.
We didn't come out the gate saying we have a 7-year coating.
How could you? Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, right.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So true.
Like, you know what I mean? And when we did first 6 years, the best duration we've had up to then was a 4-year coating.
Because.
And just so you know who's behind IGL is DuPont, Behr, BASF, Shinizu, and Wacken.
Wow.
These are our technology partners.
Sure.
These are all part owners of the company.
Yeah.
So if DuPont, Behr, BASF say it ain't going to last longer than 4 years,
then
I'm going to believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm going to believe that. But to light it on fire, to hit it with a hammer and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And I see it, too, with Solution Finish. guy would be doing a video, or I see an advertisement, and he's way overhyping it. He says, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to restore your plastic. It's going to last 2 years, and blah, blah, blah.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
And I go, no, it doesn't need to be. I mean, the average silicone-based dressing lasts, 12 to 14 days.
Yeah.
So if they get it 8 months, a year at a solution finish, that's enough.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Reapply.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, and I'm sure you probably experienced a lot of the same thing, customers coming in and or detailers coming in, and they have this false sense of reality, and it's really an education process from supplier to detailer, so that way the detailer can then in turn educate their customer on what the claims should be. And we all went through that learning curve, and happy to be on the other side of it for sure.
The only thing that happened for us is that people like Joel or different companies, they already been working with that bad image of marketing.
Yes.
And they are working on that. For me, it's going to be more easy because we launched our product 1 year ago. But our product, they are doing this product since 2014. So we got test products too.
Yes.
We launched it on the state 1 year ago, but it's a company that is paid since 2014. Yeah, for 8 years. So
wow.
But we got that step clear with these people in the industry, that they are showing the detailers and the client that this is not the way that all times the people say. Bad marketing do bad business. So I'm 100% with what you all said about that.
Chris, I had you on a podcast with me. I don't know, maybe a year ago, it was you and Ashley, of course, and you told me, I think that it was right as the time you were releasing the sealant
over the top.
Yep, over the top. And how many years did you test that product before you released it? I remember you telling me, and I was like, man,
it's not really how long I tested it. It's how long it took me
to develop it,
get it where I could test it. That
was
2.5 years.
That's what.
And,
yeah.
I'm not as smart as some people, so I got to figure this shit out.
Come on now.
And I'm not a chemist, so I
you went through a lot of bottles of trim. You went through a lot of bottles of trim.
Yeah.
And even now, because there's so many different types of plastics, so many different types of ways guys install it, they're asking me all the time, okay, well, what's the added durability with over the top a solution finish? And I go, I'm not sure.
Right.
I see that it increases, 4, 5, 6 months.
Sure.
And then I've seen it fail in 3.5 months.
Yep.
So really, the over the top it's really great for new plastic.
Yeah.
Because it gives it a little sheen, and it's like sunscreen for your plastic. It helps to eliminate that oxidation process from starting. But 2.5 years of trying to figure it out, and I'm still observing. Because it has to do with 1 coat, 2 coats. Because
there's so many variables.
Yeah, there is.
How do you put? And that's another thing with these. The rating these coatings by years is how do you? I mean, so there's there's so many variables. This vehicle may drive 50,000 miles a year. This one may drive 5,000 miles a year. But we're going to say that the coating's going to last the same amount.
See, that's the key.
You can't.
So if you look at all of our paperwork in any one of our coatings, it's always 1 year or X amount of miles. 2 years or X amount of
absolutely.
miles. Because
absolutely.
for example, when I do my deliveries every month of bedding, I do 8,000 kilometers. So my coating would not last maybe as long as his.
Right.
He might drive 500 kilometers a month.
That's right.
Yeah. So it makes no sense.
Well, it doesn't. It's a bad way to measure things because there's too many variables.
And it's the same thing with warranties.
Yeah.
We don't have one. We have what we call product durability.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's going to apply it the same way I'm going to apply it.
Well, sure.
Or the same way that the company recommends you to apply it.
Yeah.
Because you might want to get it in and out of your shop fast, so you're going to do 1 coat, but that's not what the manufacturer recommends.
Right.
You know what I mean? The two of us may recommend something different, but a detailer say,
and how could you warrant something that you don't know what was done, and you're just going to take the word for it?
Yeah.
So at Easy In, my detail shop, we self-warrant everything. It's my service. I sell my service, and I back my service.
That's right.
And we have it written up, and here's what you can expect for it to do. And if it doesn't do these things that we say it's going to do, here's what you do. and this is what we'll do to fix it. And it's very simple, and there's frequent asked questions, and so it's very self-explanatory to the customer that says, okay, well, this makes sense, right? And it educates them, and we don't have issues, but when you tell them, it's got this 10-year warranty, and just come back and see me, so we'll recode it if it fails. Like, you're setting yourself up for a nightmare.
Yeah.
So
the weather got good things, because the car in here in Kentucky, you got a cold weather, or Texas, you got hot weather.
Absolutely.
The weather is going to depend, and it's going to damage.
There's so many variables.
Yeah. You look at Puerto Rico, the humidity in Puerto Rico, and then the 120
Hawaii.
degrees in Arizona, and then
Alaska.
the rain up in
The guy in Alaska.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
there's a million different variables.
There
You
is.
have to educate your client, that's it.
Yeah.
You got a good education on your detailer and your client, you got no problem.
That's right.
Somebody asked me this morning, says, so what does your coating look like? I said, go look at the car in the Onyx booth. Mm-hmm. Coating looks just like
that one. Yeah.
Of course.
Right? Yeah.
That's why at SEMA or wherever we go, we never put a car in the booth.
Sure.
Because
It looks
we
like
want to
ours.
leave, we want to leave the space for people.
Yeah.
I want to talk to people.
Yeah.
The car. So when somebody asks me what a coated car looks like, go there. It's
funny.
They all going to look the same. My C8 last night looked the same as this car there today.
Yes.
So
That's
you're
right.
not going to see a difference.
No.
Visually.
You mentioned booths, and one thing Detail Bookie's known for is they're really small booths, and just like a very plain Jane booth around here.
Yeah.
No, the team came together and really outdid themselves on this one. Shout out to our team that put this together. But it's cool, it's fun. We always like to stand out and be different, and I feel like we do
I
that.
used to be impressed with my 70-inch TV.
No, not anymore. Huh?
There's always somebody bigger and better.
There he is.
I was going to ask you, what time is Def Leppard on?
I thought it was Snoop Dogg. I don't know. So, Chris, I wanted to ask you something. On our podcast, we had talked about Ashley and taking a bigger role into the business. Are y'all still on that track where she's stepping in and handling more?
Actually, more so than I ever expected.
Oh, really?
I've been a little under the weather, so
Yes, sir.
She's been really pushing it. And,
Good for her.
She's really good, and she has.
She's sharp.
And she works it. It's kind of like her inheritance. I mean, she's,
yeah.
Because I always set it up for a family business.
Absolutely.
My son's 18. He's just graduating. He's going to be working part time.
Great.
And then going. So she. The thing about Ashley is she's running into things that I experienced 5 or 6 years ago.
Yep.
She's coming.
She's
to
trying to
with
solve
all
those
these
problems.
Great ideas, and I go, okay, I tried that.
Yeah.
So a lot of, but new blood, new thoughts, and she's so
firecracker.
fastidious about wiping bottles and packing, and
It's
all
remotivating too,
yeah.
isn't it?
Oh,
It's inspiring when you've been in the grind for so long and you think like I've solved all the area, I've eliminated, but you have someone come in and just ready to conquer the world again. It's
I
inspiring.
did it for 7 years on my own.
Yeah.
That was it. People go, how many people are in construction in the company? Oh, let's see, 2. My wife does the books and I do everything. And so to have that pressure where I can invent other things and be involved in promoting,
Chris's, I was at Chris's shop. I went to visit Chris. We went right to his shop. And, the IDA does events around the country sometimes. IDA will have an event or whatever. 3 years back, they had an event at Chris's shop. And I was heading up to Big Bear to see Rennie. And I said, you know what, I'm going to come in a little early. And so we're going to go to Chris. There was the first event we did, and I went to see his shop. And it's really a one-man show thing.
Really, and then it's hard to believe because when you think Solution Finish, I mean everybody knows what Solution Finish. That's what everybody uses. It's a no-brainer. And you think about how many bottles that has to, I can't even imagine.
Well, it's 1,200 square feet.
Oh wow.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. I
And
did
so
not realize that.
Equipment.
Your booth is bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. I mean, it's.
Your booth is bigger.
Yeah.
But it was set up originally to be able to pump out as much business as I can.
Sure.
But it's not for impressing.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
And
efficient.
it's not the store product. One thing about Chris that I'll toot his horn is he'll get a purchase order.
He
and
makes it to
it's
order.
JIT. So he'll get it ready, he'll get it done, he'll get a label, he'll get it out the door. So as a buyer, I know that it's not product that's
It's been
sitting
sitting on
in
the
warehouse.
shelf. Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
It's always fresh,
Right.
new, go.
Wow.
So that's a
That's
compliment to
awesome.
Chris and his team.
Yeah.
And the supply chain in the last 2 years has been
It's been
an
tough.
absolute nightmare.
Really?
Bottles, caps, orifice reducers, chemicals.
Yeah.
And it's not a matter of the lead time. It's they don't have it.
Yeah, right. There is no. Yeah,
There's
right.
no back
He
order.
called me a few times looking
Yeah.
for different things, bottles, caps, can you help
Wow.
me?
It's just a nightmare. And I wish to say it was getting better, but what has happened now is now I'm starting to find it, but it's very expensive.
Expensive, yep.
So they go, you know, the guys that are making it say, well, they need it. There's, you know, the
Yeah,
supply and
it's
demand.
price, yeah, it's price and demand. Yeah.
You know, so, you know,
Yeah.
I have a chemical that I buy 16 55-gallon drums at a time.
Wow.
And the chemical supplier stores it for me, and I draw out of it.
Sure.
It's gone up 4 times in the last 6 months.
That's incredible.
So now it costs me twice as much, 10% over twice as much for the same thing, and it's been sitting in their warehouse for 8 months. So it's not
It's not like it cost them
No,
more
no,
to make because
no,
it's
no.
been sitting there the whole time.
they're able to do it. So
Yeah.
And part of the problem is and I mean, a lot of distribution companies, manufacturers, supply's been an issue, pricing going up's been an issue. But the biggest problem is you're doing a price increase this month, you're doing a price increase in 3 months, another price increase in 6 months. You can't do that.
All right.
So what you got to do is you got to sit down with your suppliers or whatever and say, I'm going to buy futures.
Yeah.
What's my next 12 months?
Yes, exactly.
What's my next 12 months? Because I got to give a price increase. I want to give one.
One.
I
Yep.
don't want to give 5
And
price increases.
Solution Finish has not seriously raised their price since 2011 when I started.
Get out of here.
It's
Since
the
2000, come
exact
on.
same price.
Wow.
And now I'm starting to get irritated. You know,
Sure. Now you
like,
feel the.
oh God, I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
You know, and then shipping and freight.
Well-
it's beyond me.
Yeah, I think.
About the conditions, you have to do about the conditions. We got the same problem with raw materials. We're supposed to launch some detailing system in this show, and we can get it.
Couldn't do it.
Because the raw material on the product,
Yeah, and it's the world we live in now, and it's a struggle. But you know what? Listen, we're all resilient, and we'll make it through this thing, and it'll make us stronger and better on the other side of it. But it's our reality right now. I was teaching a class on pricing a while ago, and you know they were asking, well, you know, can I go up on price? You know, my fuel's up, my chemicals are up. I said, you don't have a choice of can you?
Absolutely.
You have to. You have to. I mean, if you or your explanation will be, I can do it for this price, but I won't be here next year.
Yeah.
You know, which you know.
If you need
Fortune-
$10 to live,
Yeah.
you got to figure out a way
You
to
gotta
make
make it.
$10.
Yeah, you gotta make it $10.
Well, fortunately, the new administration's going to probably figure it out.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. No, I think you're.
Hey, listen, I'm Canadian.
They're on it.
I don't talk politics.
I know. I don't either.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to stay optimistic. You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a long way to go.
Chris West for president.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. You got my vote.
You got my
Got my
vote,
vote.
too. Yeah.
Got my
Yeah,
vote.
because you vote for America.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you talk about it. One thing I'd like to see
Uh-huh.
with all the education in the industry, and we did a lot of construction development, real estate. I'd like to see a little bit more emphasis on helping guys learn how to sell,
Absolutely.
how to talk to
Yes.
customers, how to, you know,
11 a.m. tomorrow morning. 11 a.m. tomorrow
Yeah.
morning.
Joel's teaching them.
Come to
You
my
know,
class.
No, it's
important.
it is. And detailers. So in a piece of one of my presentations is about sales. Detailers are generally like kind of they want to be by themselves. They want to be great at this, you know, polishing and like I can do this thing, but I don't really want to go interact with the customers. And that doesn't work.
No,
that doesn't work. You've got to sell your
and
service.
If you're not the person,
Hire somebody.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
agree.
That's
I
right.
agree.
But you're spot on. I think that there's a lot of it. A lot of time needs to be spent teaching these guys that you've got to be able to interact with your customers, and not on technical terms either. It's got to be layman's terms. They don't care what grit sandpaper you use. They don't care what pad you. They want to know is my car going to be shiny and clean?
Yeah.
Okay, if so, how much?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's high solid, so it's going to be.
Like what?
Do they know?
Right? Yeah. You lost me. You lost me. And so detailers need to learn that, but they got to be able to get out there and then running their business too. It's got to be treated like a business. This is not a lemonade stand. If you're running it like a lemonade stand, then that's about all it will ever be.
And that's all you'll get is lemonade.
If you want to stay, if you want your income to stay exactly the way it is, keep on doing exactly what you're doing. If you're not growing, your personal ability, then your income is going to reflect that.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Look at where Carlos is from, Puerto Rico. COVID probably hit them one of the hardest because they depend on tourists so much. The cruise ship industry, right?
And then there's
how many hundreds of thousands of people that you did not see in the last 3 years?
We got a lot of problems since 2017 from the last year again, and then the hurricane blast Puerto Rico, then the COVID. We've been like 1 year closed without no one going there, no tourists and all that thing. So that affects us a lot.
And once in a while you have a wind problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was 2017.
And it took, I think, almost a year, 2 years to
there's some place again get out of power for 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's insane.
That is.
I had a guy that bought Solution Finish from me, a couple cases here and there. His shop, his house, his truck was blown off of the island.
That's terrible.
And I didn't hear from him for like 16 weeks, and he called me, Chris, I know I owe you money. And I go, dude, I'm glad you're alive. And he didn't have power for 6 months.
Wow.
We'll look after your family. We'll worry about the bill later.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I said, as soon as you're set up, I'll send you a care package.
Absolutely. That's it. Yep. Yeah, and then that's what you do. You got to be out there to help people in times of need. And, I think that all of us sitting up here have all done our fair share of that for sure. And you know what? I think that's what makes this thing great and makes it fun being in our position is to be able to do those things, whether it be for our team or our family or someone else. So it's awesome. So look, guys, I know that they have a podcast coming on the main stage at 1 o'clock, so we don't want to interrupt them. But I wanted to thank you guys for coming on. And if there's anything else that you wanted to kind of interject, we got a few minutes. If you guys wanted to throw something out there, just, I just want to let you guys know that I'm so thankful for y'all coming on our set and talking with me.
No, it's nice, Dustin. I pretty much talked myself out.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for the invite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. It's awesome. Looking forward to a great show. Y'all go mix and mingle with the customers. Have a good time. And
tonight we got the dinner, the awards.
Yes, the award ceremony. Yeah, so that'll be fun. And another shout out to Daryl and their team, SDC. They put on a great show. Like I said, there's people rolling in here, and looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank y'all. See ya.
Well, that wasn't so bad.
No, but you did great.